Hi, this is Sammie Smiles, and I'm your host, Sammie Vance. This podcast is sure to leave you inspired and with a smile. Now let's get right into it. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the 6th episode of Sammie Smiles. I'm your host, Sammie Vance, and today we have Addison Agen with us today. She is an amazing singer and is actually from my home city as well, Fort Wayne, Indiana. Addison not only sings, but she also writes her music, and I think that's just really amazing, and she's super inspiring. So I'm excited to have her on my podcast. She was a runner-up on The Voice, and she was just 16 years old, which is really cool. And how I first found out about her was when we were both Glow Girls in the same Glow magazine year. And now she's on my podcast, so thank you so much for being here.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for inviting me to be here. This is awesome. I love this.
Yeah, I know. Thank you so much. I think it's fun that we have something in common, such as we're both girls from Fort Wayne, Indiana, and we can represent our city by inspiring others. So I think that's really cool. But one thing that we don't have in common, one of us cannot sing. I wonder who that is. But I play a little bit of the piano, but singing,
awesome.
I'm so bad at singing.
That's awesome that you play an instrument, just to have that, a little bit of muscle memory in that. That's awesome.
Yeah, thank you. So when did you actually first start singing, and what kind of brought you into singing?
I grew up in a really musical family. My mom is a music therapist and a worship leader at a bunch of churches in Fort Wayne. And my dad is a sound engineer and owned a record store in Fort Wayne called Neat 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 for about 10 or 11 years. So I was always around music, and I grew up singing in church, leading worship. That was really how I got used to being in front of people singing. I started when I was honestly like 4 years old. My mom would sit me on the piano right next to her, and she would put stickers on a couple of the notes that were in the key of the songs that she was playing, and I would poke the keys. And that's sort of how I got used to even being incorporated and a part of music. So that was my initial entrance. And then I started writing my own music around 9 or 10, just sort of like fun, silly songs that I had come up with. And then started taking it a little bit more seriously when I went to a summer camp called Interlochen in Michigan. And it was a songwriting camp. And I was like, oh my gosh, a lot of other people do this. It's not just me in my bedroom. And that sort of sparked a lot of creativity for me to continue doing it until now.
Yeah, I think that's really cool how one thing turned into another, and now it's like big. And I think that's just really cool because that's kind of how my Buddy Bench project started. I started with just collecting bottle caps for my school to get a Buddy Bench, and then it got bigger. And yeah, I think that's kind of cool how one small thing can turn into something bigger, and it can really inspire a lot of people. So
yeah, how one small thing can lead to a lifetime of pursuing it.
Yeah,
completely. I love that.
Yeah. So when I started my podcast last October, I decided that I wanted to compose my intro music. I used a program called Noteflight, and it's really neat to kind of hear my own music that I created at the beginning of each podcast. So what is it like? Yeah, what's it like hearing your songs that you sing, and knowing that it's touched other people's hearts by the words and everything?
First of all, that's super cool. I did not know that. I've listened to a couple of your podcasts, and I would have no clue that it was you creating that. That's awesome. But yeah, it's sorry, I'm waving goodbye to my boyfriend. It's really cool to, you from the writer's perspective, you see the whole process of just the idea of I have one line or a couple chords that I want to base this song off of, all the way to showing it to a band and a producer and going into the studio and being a part of every single moment of it, and then letting it go into the world and then seeing how it impacts people. Hearing stories of this song is what I wake up to, or gets me going for the day. Those are the best things that I can hear from people, because I know I have those songs in my life that really help me keep going and stay in a positive mindset. And that my songs are that for other people is just really cool.
Yeah, I think that's cool because it's kind of like, even though we do completely different things, me with the buddy bench and you with your music, we can relate on different levels, because like that's what keeps me motivated when people say, "Oh, this is inspiring me," and stuff like that. And
Yeah,
it, yeah, motivates me to keep on going. And I think that's just kind of cool how we have yet other similarities as well.
yeah, that's very true. Totally.
Mhm. So lately, I have been listening to like Broadway music, such as Hamilton and In the Heights, and my family gets sick of hearing it all the time, hearing not only me sing, and because like I have a really bad singing voice, yet I love singing it, but also
Yeah,
like,
totally.
yeah,
I always feel like singing is for everyone, because it just feels good throughout your whole body, because it's really your whole body is singing. So
right,
even if it doesn't sound good, it like feels so great to just sing. I'm
yeah.
always encouraging people to just go for it. It really doesn't matter. You don't have to sound good to have fun singing. So number one, that's awesome that you're still like, screw this, I'm gonna keep singing as loud as I want to.
Yeah, yeah, my sister would be like, "Oh my goodness, why are you singing?" And then I'm like, "It's fun, I like it."
Exactly.
But yeah, I was wondering, do you have a favorite music genre that you like singing or just listening to?
I listen to a lot of other singer-songwriters in the Americana and folk sort of realm. Um, I just purely the storytelling is so good, and I feel like a lot of music with like real instruments that are being played. Electronic music is totally cool and definitely a specific vibe for sure that I can totally get into. But most often, I really love the Wood Brothers, Brandy Carlisle, Sarah Bareilles, Nora Jones, people like that, who it's like they have studied this, and it's just so in their body that they can't help but express it in this way. And I just think that's super inspiring. So yeah, that's sort of the genre that I always go back to.
Yeah, I like that. And I think it's cool to hear that from a singer's perspective. So yeah, I
Yeah.
think that's really cool. So you were on TV show The Voice, and you were like a runner up at just age 16. So I think that is just super amazing and, like I said, inspiring. And I remember the first time that I spoke on stage to a crowd, it was intimidating because like all the lights and everything.
Yeah.
And you experienced that in a really big way. So how are you able to kind of keep calm, or can you kind of talk us through that experience and stuff?
Yeah. There was a lot of auditions leading up to actually being on the audition in front of the judges and on TV. So I feel like I got a lot of practice of just like, okay, I'm singing this song again. I'm used to like, this is how I perform it. They walk you through it. So um, number one, just practicing it a lot. Like there's no way you can mess up the words when you don't even have to think about what the words are because you know them so well. So that was one. Just I practiced until I was completely comfortable. And also, it was such a. On the other hand, it was such a like quick moving schedule. Like we had hair and makeup, and then we had interviews, and then we had this, and then I also was doing school during all of it, and just jumping around all the time. And then it was like, okay, 15 minutes, and then you're on stage. So I didn't have time to panic. It was just like, okay, I'm doing all this stuff. People are like fixing hair and makeup and all of that. So you can't even think. And then you're like, oh, I'm on stage. Now this is like the most peaceful part of my day because I know what I'm doing and I've practiced this so many times. But yeah, so both those things helped a lot. And then at the beginning of most shows, we would either do like a prayer group of a bunch of people and just pray that God blesses our nerves and rids them and turns them into excitement and adrenaline and all good things. And I feel like he really did that for all of us because I don't think there was any nervous breakdowns or anything on stage, which was incredible considering the amount of pressure that was on us.
Yeah, and I think that's really cool and also really great advice as well. So I think thanks for sharing that, because that's kind of again, really cool to hear from your perspective. So yeah, one thing that I really admire about you is you stay true to yourself. I am a bit younger than you, but I just want to say thank you. And there's so much pressure out there to fit, like, and to have to be a certain way
Yeah.
and go like, yeah, go with the flow and everything. But if you do like, if you do fit into that mold that society has kind of made it seem like you have to fit in, which you don't, you lose who you are and what makes you unique. So how have you been able to stay true to yourself, and are the opportunities that you have, uh, like, I don't know how to phrase this question, but like, how have you been able to stay true to yourself through all this? Because yeah.
Yeah, through all of this. Yeah, absolutely. I think um, there's been, it hasn't been perfect of like, oh, this feels 100% true to who I am. And there's been trial and error of finding out what I really want to do. Um, and I've learned a lot from those either missteps or um, going into not missed opportunity, but I guess the opposite, where there was an opportunity and I took it and maybe I shouldn't have. But I think they have helped shape me and to know more specifically what I want to get into and what I'm passionate about and what I want to say to the world. Um, but yeah, staying true to myself. I don't know. I think it's a lot of who you surround yourself with that keep you in line with what you're trying to say to the world, what your morals are. So I really have great friends and great family that are always reminding me of who God made me to be. And so I think I always go to them when I'm confused about something or if I'm not sure of a decision to make. Um, Sometimes our friends see us clearer than we do. And so I like to get some of their perspective sometimes just to help keep me in line. I would say only do that though if you really have great friends. If you
Yeah.
have friends that um, maybe align with different things that would hurt you, then I would say definitely don't take that advice. But if you really trust your friends and family, I think that's one of the best things to do.
Yeah, I love that. And again, great advice. And yeah, I completely agree with that. Think that, again, just really cool to hear, and um, inspiring in so many different perspectives or ways. And I think that's super cool. So you just kicked off your upcoming tour here in town last week, and I hope to catch one of your next performances around here. So can
Yeah.
you tell the listeners a little bit about maybe your tour and other places that you're going to be visiting?
Yeah, absolutely. So we are leaving on Friday, the 23rd of July. So a couple days from now. And yeah, we're going to Southern Indiana, a bunch of cities in Ohio, through Pennsylvania, a bunch of cities there, and New York. So it's really just the northeastern side. But yeah, we'll be gone for 3 weeks, which is really exciting. I know that's not a massive tour, but that's the biggest one I've had. So yeah, there's tickets up on my website, which is just addisonAgen.com. And you can find all the information that you would need. All the links there will lead you wherever you would want to go. So if you're near one of those cities, I would definitely say pick them up. Some of them are backyard shows, so it'll be a super intimate setting of just me and my guitar player, who's my boyfriend, Mike Gronsky. And it'll be super fun. We'll be playing new stuff off of my album that just came out called When the Morning Comes, and some stuff off The Voice, and then just some covers of artists that we really love. I'm really excited for our show in Saratoga Springs, New York. Our full band is flying out to be there, and it's just going to be a really awesome night of all being together after a year and a half of not being together. So it'll be really special. I'm excited for really every single show that we're playing. So check out on my website and see if there's a show near you.
Yeah, definitely check that out. And I think that's really cool. So congratulations on all that. So you
Thank
have a new
you.
album, a new tour, and lots of exciting things happening. Before the rapid fire round, do you have anything else you would like to expand on?
Yeah, I guess I'll just say the album is out, and it's been a long time coming for a lot of people that have been waiting. So yeah, it's out now on everywhere that you would listen to music. So definitely go check it out if you have some time.
Yeah, again, go check it out because I'm sure it's super amazing. So I'll have to get all your music and everything because
Totally.
I
You
love
should. You should.
listening. Yeah, I think you have a really amazing voice. So
Thank you.
yeah. So I guess if you're ready, then we can get onto the rapid fire round.
Sure thing.
Okay, so I'll ask you a few questions and you can just answer the first thing that comes to mind. Okay.
Fun.
Favorite food?
Oh, smoothies.
A smoothie sounds so good right now, actually.
I know. It's if I'm talking about the food that I eat most often, it's absolutely smoothies. I could eat them for every meal of the day because there's like so many different types of smoothies. I don't know why it's not talked about more. But anyway,
Yeah,
smoothies for sure.
yeah. What about your favorite color?
Citron, which is the mix between green and yellow, somewhere in there.
Nice. What about your favorite song?
Oh my gosh, these are rapid fire. Oh gosh. Favorite song. Something Brandy Carlisle. Uh, oh my gosh. We'll go with, oh my gosh. Every Brandy Carlisle song is so good. Okay. Oh my gosh. And I'm blanking on every single name of all of them. Oh, Beginning to Feel the Years. Or I Belong to You. Okay, either of those.
Nice. Favorite vacation spot?
Oh my gosh. Michigan. Anywhere in Michigan.
Mhm. If you could have any superpower, what would it be?
Definitely time travel. For sure.
Yeah, time travel. That would be cool. Yeah.
Or like just being able to go, like skip all the driving, just be like, city
Teleport.
teleporting. Yes.
Yeah, I've always wanted that. That's one of my things that I've always
Yes.
wanted. Yeah.
Yeah.
What about your favorite instrument to play?
Guitar is what I play most often, but if I could learn another one, it would either be bass or cello.
hmm I played the guitar very little bit with my mom during Christmas one year.
Oh, that's awesome. It's so cool. I love the guitar. It's such a an instrument that you can make so many different sounds with. So
Mhm.
it's such a fun one.
Yeah. So, would you rather speak every language or be able to talk to animals?
Man. Oh man. Okay. I'm thinking I'm sure speaking every language would probably be more helpful. So I'm gonna go with
Mhm.
that. I'm gonna go with that.
Yeah. So, where can people find you on social media to follow you and your amazing journey?
So my Instagram is just Addison Agen official, and Facebook is Addison Agen. Twitter also Addison Agen, and am I missing any of them? Oh, YouTube is also Addison Agen. I sort of just we have released 3 new music videos for some of the songs on the album, so definitely go check those out. I'm new to YouTube, but this year we're really trying to go after that. So check it out. The videos are really awesome in my opinion.
Yes, definitely. So, for the last question that I ask all my guests, what is something that makes you smile?
I love that question so much. I love that question so much. We need to ask that more just in normal life. What makes me smile? Wow. Good conversation makes me smile. I love meeting new people and hearing their stories. I think that's like, I will always want to meet new people because people's stories are crazy cool. Um, yeah, I'll say those 2 things: good conversation and meeting new people.
Same here. I love that answer. So,
We did both of those today. Wow.
yeah, yes, I love it. So, thank you so much for being on here. It's like been a really great honor, and I think it's really cool. And I know that I need to buy your album really soon. And I really hope that we can possibly meet in person someday. I think that would be really
Be
cool.
fun. That'd be
Yeah.
super fun. Well, again, thanks for having me on here. It's so nice to meet you, see your face. I think it's awesome what you're doing. Keep
Thank
doing
you.
it. It's inspiring so many people, including me. So good for you. This is awesome. I know so many people that would not be brave enough to have a podcast and talk to strangers. So thank you for doing this. It's so awesome.
Same to you. I could like say the exact same thing back to you. I think it's really cool what you're doing. It's super inspiring. So make sure to follow Addison in her amazing journey because it'll definitely inspire you and listening to her music. It's just super awesome. So thank you everyone for listening, and remember that you don't just have to be an adult to make a difference. You can be a kid too. I hope this makes you smile, and I hope you have a great day. Bye.